put a new voice note thing on Snapchat. Sorry.
Excuse me.
Oh, that is so cool.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the
Classic. Time.
Hey everybody, it's Alex back again with another video. I'm jumping on a trend here. Your favourite band through each letter of the alphabet. I decided to stick to just bands for this video. If you guys want to see another one for solo artists, let me know. But I just went through my main alphabet section, so there won't be any hip hop, there won't be any soul, funk, R&B, won't be any reggae, won't be any jazz or blues or any world music or anything like that. Just strict rock and pop and metal and whatever else was in my main alphabet section. If you want more details on any of these, I am currently doing a series on my full collection, which is going up slowly, but at some point I'll cover all of these maybe. Actually I will cover all of these at some point, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. But for now I'm going to show you each one I'm going to go from A to Z, because it'll bug me if I go from Z to A, it really will, because that's not how I do things.
It'll pee me off too.
Yeah, it'll pee my girlfriend up as well.
That's not a very good idea, people.
We both have a very mild case of OCD, especially me with how I do things. So of course I have to do this alphabetically. So let's get into this video. So of course, as always, we'll start off with the letter A. And of course I had to go with my favourite band, Arctic Monkeys. Favourite Worst Nightmares. This is my favourite Arctic Monkeys album. So what other band am I going to go with for A, really? I could have gone with Arcade Fire, maybe AC/DC, but I tried to stay clear of all the obvious bands, because we all know I don't like the obvious choices. So the Arctic Monkeys, of course, I had to go with for A, as they are my favourite band of all time. For B, I was going to go Beatles, but then I remembered I wasn't a huge Beatles fan. So I went with Bee Gees instead. I went with Bee Gees. This is their greatest hits. I do have Bee Gees' greatest hits. Covers all their hits from this late 70s, from their disco era. And yeah, I had to go with Bee Gees, of course. Another favourite group of mine. I mean, they're technically a group, not a band, but I still went with that because they're a group. Bands and groups I kind of put in the same category. For C, it was a little bit easier because I went with Cigarettes After Sex. One of my favourite bands, of course. And yeah, this album, as you can see, is signed by all three members of the band. So there's sort of a lo-fi shoegaze style group, so definitely check them out if you're into shoegaze. I mean, definitely worth checking out. But yeah, I went with Cigarettes After Sex there. For D, I almost went with The Doors, but as I was looking through my collection, I realised there is a band I like a bit more than them. Obviously, The Doors and Depeche Mode I was tempted to go with, but at the end of the day, I went with Duran Duran. One of my favourite bands from the 80s, so of course had to go with them. E again was a bit difficult. I almost went with Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I almost went with Everything. Even Echo Smith was on the list, but I decided to go with ELO. Out of the Blue is this album. Very, very nice group there. Of course, we all know this band from Jeff Lynne. Very, very nice. F. What did I have for F? I had. You know what? I'm starting to lose track of what I have now. What I almost picked, but I picked Foreigner because I do like their stuff quite a bit. I'm still missing a few albums from their discography, but this one is my favourite just because it's got I Wanna Know What Love Is on it. So there you go. G. It's alright. For G, Um,
I'm joking.
how rude!
I saw it in your video and I was like, I gotta do it.
How rude! For G, I could have gone with Glass Animals. I could have gone with Gorillaz. I decided to go with probably the only band I needed to go with for G, and that's Guns N' Roses. The only real reason to have any Guns N' Roses album, Appetite for Destruction, more or less the greatest hits of Guns N' Roses, if you ask me. Great debut album, and yeah, even if you're not into heavy metal, I can guarantee someone out there likes Guns N' Roses. You like Guns N' Roses, don't you?
Yeah.
See? Told you. For H, believe it or not, I almost went with Hall & Oates. And I very, very nearly did pick them. I had to go with the Human League. Believe it or not, I was very, very close to picking Hall & Oates, but I just picked a Human League because at the moment I'm in more of a Human League mood. If I made this video in a week from now and I was in more of a Hall & Oates type of mood, I might have picked Hall & Oates, but I went with the Human League for the time being for this video. I was a bit more difficult because I only had 3 bands to pick from. I had Iron Butterfly, I had Iron Maiden, and I had Imagine Dragons, and of course I went with Imagine Dragons for this video. J was a bit easier because most of my J section is solo artists, so really I only had one band that I could go with, and that was Jefferson Airplane with Surrealistic Pillow. This is the Music on Vinyl reissue. I want a original master recording of this, but I don't think I'm ever going to find one. But this is still a great sounding pressing of this. Very, very nice album there. Of course, Jefferson Airplane. K, I had The Knack. I had one other band, I think. But I ended up going with Kiss. Because really there's not many, but I could have gone with Kajagoogoo. I was so tempted to, but I do like Kiss just a bit more. L, you don't know how close I was to picking Led Zeppelin. You really, really don't know how close I was to picking Led Zeppelin. Instead I went with Linkin Park because not only do they hold a sentimental value to me, I do listen to them quite a bit more than Led Zeppelin. I still love Led Zeppelin, don't get me wrong, but for me, Linkin Park is where it's at. For M, again, when it came to bands, I didn't have a lot of choice. I had like Steve Miller Band, and that was about it, other than Maroon 5, who I decided to go with. Because I do like Maroon 5. I've liked them since they came out with their first album and even their first single, She Will Be Loved. And ever since then I've been hooked on Maroon 5. So, of course, I've got to go with a band I've always listened to. N was a bit... There was only one band I could go with for N, for the letter, and that's Nickelback. I don't know what people think about Nickelback. I really don't. But this album, I had to go with, just because it's got so many big hits on it, from Photograph to Rockstar to If Everyone Cared, also a big song on here. I do like Nickelback, so sorry if you don't, but I do. I like Nickelback. I could only go with one band for O, because my O section is very, very small, and I don't even have any OMD. That's how bad, how small my O section is. It's actually just O, the band. The only thing I could go with. So, have that for the letter O. P, I almost did pick Pink Floyd. Oh, that's got to make the video somewhere.
Oh,
I
beginning.
Yeah, it's got to make it in there. For P, I almost did go with Pink Floyd, but I realised outside of Dark Side of the Moon, I don't really listen to them that much, so I had to go with the Police. Because I do love the Police's music, even Sting's solo stuff I really enjoy, so of course I had to go with that. For Q, the only band I could go with was Queen. So, yeah, I went with Queen. For the letter R, of course I could have gone with Rolling Stones. Like I said, I wanted to avoid the obvious, and I don't really even listen to the Rolling Stones that much anyway. But I did decide to go with probably my favourite. I mean, I could have gone with REO Speedwagon, yes. Could have gone with Redbone, could have gone with Rolling Stones, as I said. But I didn't. I decided to go with the band Rare Earth. They're called a rock band on Motown. I decided to pick them just purely and simply because I like everything from Rare Earth. They were so popular on Motown that they decided to... They even got their own label named after them. So very, very nice stuff there. Rare Earth, love their music. For the letter S, it was a bit more difficult to pick just one band. I could have gone Steely Dan. I could have gone the band Soons, who I've seen live in concert. I haven't talked about on this channel for a while. But of course I did have to go with the obvious for this one, Supertramp. I do like pretty much everything they've ever done up to like 1982 or something. But this is a fantastic album, Crisis What Crisis. For T,
Yes, please.
for the letter T, I decided to go with the only band I probably could, and that's Talking Heads. I love Talking Heads. My favourite album from them, Speaking in Tongues. So, of course, I had to go with that one. U was a bit more difficult because I really had a choice of Ultravox, U2, or this band, and that's Uriah Heep.
What? What's that?
So I decided to go with them. For the letter V, I could have gone with Visage, yeah, I almost did. But I decided to go with the group Vancouver Sleep Clinic. I've seen them twice in concert. I've met the band twice, both times I've been. And
so gross.
very, very good stuff. They're very chilled, relaxing electronic music. With vocals, obviously, very ambient vocals. Very, very nice stuff there. So decided to grab that. I mean, had to show them off, of course. For W, you don't know how tempted I was to go for Stevie Wonder, because he is in my main alphabet, but because we're sticking to bands here, I went with The Who. I picked Tommy by The Who to show you guys. Great album from them. Very, very good stuff there. For X,
That's so cool. Why didn't I see that in your collection? So cool.
she's impressed with my choice for X.
What is that?
It's the XXX. No, it's not. It's the XX. Is the name of the band. This is their third album. There's two different styles to this album. There's one like this, which comes in the box set, and there's one that comes without. I'm lucky enough to have the box set. You can't really see it. It's so shiny. It's ridiculous.
That is awesome.
Look how shiny it is. You actually sound
Impressed?
impressed. Yeah.
It's so cool though.
I know.
That's genuinely enough to turn me into a record person. Like, that is awesome.
Well, things like that.
Yes, that's so sick.
Almost there. For Y, I almost went with Yazoo, but again, they're a duo, and I'm not really in a Yazoo type of mood, but I am, however, in a Yes mood. This is Tales of Topographic Oceans, my introduction to Yes. Still my favourite Yes album, but great album from them. Finally, for the letter Z, Again, there was really only one band I could go with, and it's ZZ Top. Eliminator.
Sorry.
Yeah, so
That's that.
the only band I could really go with for Zed. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for tuning back into the channel. If there's any more videos you guys want to see, please let me know down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Peace.